possible time for it to be just taken out of your hands.
Funny. Aggressive starting to mid. Oh, he's got to be careful. Yeah, peeking over the top. He has an angle over the top of the smoke as well, and it's almost too easy on the free kill. Jumping across a little bit risky, and it's done. No chance. Avova's actually pushing into mid as well. They're looking to try and shut this down, but he's caught. They got to be careful. Look at Keloqz.
He is sending it, man. These guys, they know that they've won the game. They're coming in strong and hot on the final round. And what could be, unless F4Q have got a big clutch. 5K and Zumba looking to make it happen. Both on the A side as we speak. Mixwell spotted them out, and now they're ready to take these duels. They'll let them get the plant. The Cosmic Divide will fade. The door will be broken, and then they'll push in. There is zero pressure on the shoulders of G2 at this point. And if you're F4Q, you've got to make a move. You have to push into them and try to find an opportunity. 8 HP left for Zumba. This will have to be an amazing play, or he'll leave 5K to do it all. That smoke is about to fade, and when it does, they'll be ready to take the duel. 5K trying to find opportunities elsewhere. Zumba manages to evade them completely, but he's only good for the one. That will be it. Done. G2 13-6 and 2-0 in the series. They will be going to playoffs.
Yeah, this is EMEA's first representative making it into the playoffs. We will have someone there, Mitch, and it's going to be G2. We were looking at this group saying we want to see how they play versus F4Q, how they're going to do, knowing that Sentinels are likely to be taking that #1 seed. The interesting thing now, though, is they actually do have an opportunity to fight for it, and maybe even steal it away from them.
There is a possibility, that's for sure, but we'll leave that for another day. Now we sit on the sad truth that F4Q are out of the tournament. This Korean team will not be pushing any further forward. They will still have a game left to play, unfortunately, but it is meaningless at this point. They cannot make it through.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate truth, but they do come into a group with what is the EMEA super team, like people being picked up from different rosters to try and make their way through, even just to a Masters event. That was one of the goals for G2, I'm sure. Now they've made it into the top 8, which I'll be honest, from seeing the plane, Carlos's tweets, and well, all the expectations of players like Mixwell who've been in the scene, or at least the esports scene, for an incredibly long time. I doubt the top 8 is anywhere near the goal that they're going for, but at the same time, well, let's be real. Did we expect them to be the first EMEA team getting through? Probably not. The hopes of Gambit Ascend, for example, were much higher. So the fact that G2 have managed to get there, and at least today, in very clean fashion, with a lot of adaptations and solid utility usage and synergy, I'm looking forward to seeing this team go forward further.
Yeah, it's about the development of this team from when we last saw them, from when we first saw them to now. It's been a very short time frame, and they've managed to do so much. This is the best that G2 have ever looked, and I have to say, I loved every single second of watching this series, of how they were able to just control and completely starve F4Q of any space and any comfort. This is definitely a team that deserves to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, clinical. And this is, again, although F4Q have come in here, I think they're in a group that we always knew was going to be tough for them. The fact that G2, after last time, come through and now do it in much cleaner fashion. They adapt to the problems that they had before. That's an incredibly good sign, especially when they're going to go up against likely much tougher teams. In fact, they're going to have another rematch versus Sentinels, I believe, coming up tomorrow. So the fact that they've dealt with F4Q in such a manner, it's a great sign, but we know that in the playoffs, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Yeah,
most definitely. That's where the big boys are. The group stage now no longer a worry, but seeding still a big thing for G2 to worry about as they move forward. Still, though, pressure alleviated, taken off their shoulders, and well, it looks like it was worthwhile for Carlos to take out that checkbook, buying up some of the best talent that we have in EMEA, and it has paid off this time around.
Yeah, for sure. As I said, they changed from having, well, basically a completely different roster, only one man left standing from the team that was destroying everybody in Europe for basically the first year of Valorant, making those drastic changes.
There's a lot of energy on this stage today, Gio. They're both gearing up and getting fired up to go.
I mean, they both know how important this game is. The stakes are not quite as high for G2, but for F4Q, you know, if they lose this, then, I mean, that's kind of it.
That's going to be a nice little celebration coming out of G2. G2 most definitely happy with that result.
Remaining.
I don't even know if they realized it. Esperanza, if he does manage to get away with the kill, he picked the wrong angle. I think they thought he was in the corner.
One enemy. One enemy.
A war of attrition when it came to them trying to take space. I mean, even when we look back at round 17, which was the round where they were playing into a pistol that G2 were bringing, they still invested the showstopper, they still invested all this utility because they knew they had to give themselves the benefit in their economy, hold G2 back. And when you know you have to be putting that much into a round where you're going up against pistols, I feel like that tells quite a...
Well, one of the players that have impressed all of us here is Keloqz, and he is now with Dash for the Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you very much, Yinsu. G2 pushing through to the knockout stage with a dominant victory against F4Q, and I am joined by none other than Keloqz.
Hello.
Keloqz, I have to imagine, while there's still seeding to play for in terms of the knockout stage, it's got to be a little bit of pressure off your shoulders knowing that you've already booked the ticket.
Exactly. I mean, we are really proud of the team that we won. We are qualified, and now our main goal is to win the Masters and to beat Sentinels tomorrow and to have the first seeding.
Well, I'm going to ask you about that matchup in just a moment, but I do kind of want to talk about how you got there. You guys find yourself in a very interesting group. It's the only group that had to play double round robin.
Exactly.
So did the team kind of discuss how you would approach the tournament differently than if you were playing in a bracket stage, knowing you'd see each team multiple times?
To be honest, no.
Okay.
Like, we know that we're going to play more match than the other teams, and we're really happy because we want to enjoy the tournament. And it's really nice to play in like this event, and we just want to play and win everyone and be the best.
Well, let's talk then about this matchup here, the rematch against F4Q. Last time around, it was 2-1.
Yeah,
and in
close.
fact, the map you dropped was bind.
Yeah.
But this time, a 13-3 bind. There were 2 agent changes, and I have to imagine that was a bit of it. You were on one of them. But what all really went on between the last time you met them and this time that you were so much better this time around?
I think the last time we didn't adapt. Like, we know that they were playing slow. We was just pushing to them, and they stumped us. So now this time we watched the VOD. We knew what they was doing, and we just read them, and we read them like a book, and we won.
There it is. Still locked it up on Ascent as
Exactly.
well. For you personally, first ever LAN event, and I think you've already captured the hearts and minds of a lot of people with some of your stylish play. But how has it all lived up to your expectation stepping onto a LAN event for the very first time?
To be honest, the first time that I came here, like I was a little bit nervous, but thanks that I have teammates like Mixwell who has a lot of experience, and he helped me a lot, and I really think that we can win this event easy, and thanks God that we have Mixwell in the team.
All right, well, if you're going to win this event, you're going to have to go through Sentinels to do it. You've already done what no other team has done on a LAN. You took 1 map, but next time around, I know you want to take 2 and get the win. So what's got to change? What's going to be different next time as you step on stage against them to make sure you lock it up?
I don't know, but I'm sure that tomorrow we will win. I'm really sure about this.
All right, he's promised us a show for tomorrow, but we still have more show heading your way in just a moment. Keloqz, thank you so much for the interview.
Very much.
We'll catch you again later. We're heading to a break. When we come back, more Valorant action hitting your screens.